Hello, wonderful souls. It is time to dive into a cheeky video that is all about Song of the Week choice number 40. We have reached the big 40. We go to Australia for some sophisticated Dingo. And the song, which is so flipping good, is called Morning View. As always with these videos, as with SFSA, it's a situation of hitting record. And there ain't no weird YouTube chopping edits to make everything as perfect as can be because we have short attention spans. It's just me and verbal diarrhea and lots of passion for usually around 25 to 35 minutes when it comes to these little contextual dives into the Song of the Week artist and beyond the song that I've chosen, why I think they're so incredible and you need to know more about them. So, Sophisticated Dingo. Let us dive into a messy desktop, although the other screen is a lot messier. We go to whatwasthatradio.com and we zoom into 200%, Steve. Look at that. A conversation with Stuck on Planet Earth is tomorrow, Thursday, July 28th of 2022 at 10 a.m. That's Pacific time on the West Coast. As for them, it's over on the East side at 1 p.m. Will they bring sandwiches? Who knows? Will I have a late breakfast and early brunch as they converse and have their lunch? Sorry. Standards, a conversation with Marcus, one of the most incredible guitar players on this planet, to be frank with you, from the math rock band Standards. That's Monday, August 1st, next Monday at 5 p.m. Next Monday at 5 p.m. Yes, I do believe next Monday I work Quality Foods 7 to 3:30. I was like, oh my God, because there's so many great things going on the next few days. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then, oh no, wait, I'm working. And then, oh no, wait, I'm doing a what was that interview? And then, oh no, wait. And so we're just working out the flow in summertime, which is always a joy. It's lovely to have lots of things to do, to try and squeeze in. Right, let's go to the music portal. Sophisticated Dingo, Song of the Week. Choose your artist. We'll go Sophisticated Dingo. There we are, number 40. But firstly, I write here, these two best mates thrash, sweat, and have as much fun as possible, and that energy hits me hard. I adore their quirky storytelling and relentless momentum they create. One of my favorite lines Lewis has penned, or Lou, is, quote, it's like buying steak knives when you haven't cooked a day in your life. So good. So, I'll say so a third time in quick succession. Before we go any further, let's go back in time to a conversation with Lou. And this is last year at this point. You can tell my hair, not the same. The mustache, the same, but not the same. The expression of us both, pondering, thinking, considering. It was midnight for me and 6 p.m. for him the next day or something. This is a funny interview because we go for an hour and 13, but at the 45-minute mark, I'm like, but I was so excited and wanted to push through. So it's a wonderful evolution of me going from excited to exhausted and just having a great conversation with Lewis. He's such a wonderful, warm soul. And in this part of the clip, 17 minutes, 45 seconds in, he's going to explain how he and Jimmy, the drummer, know each other and how Sophisticated Dingo came to be. So it makes sense to dive into the past John to work with the current John to let you know about Sophisticated Dingo.
Jimmy and I, we did play in another band. So Jimmy and I went to high school together. I've known Jimmy since we were both 12 when we started high school and first met each other. And then it would have been when we were in year 10, which is the third last year in your high school journey. We started the band together because we both played music, and we had other friends that we played with, and we were in a 5-piece band. It's called Barcelos, and you can look it up on Spotify and find all those tunes. It's actually Jimmy was the lead singer of that band, and I played with rhythm and lead guitar. There was another guitarist in there, and we'd play together in that. And so we went on with that, and we pushed through past school. We were quite determined, and we always wrote together and gigged and did all the things bands do. But just at one stage, there's one pivotal moment I remember where we were working on this song, and the drummer said, I don't like this. I don't want to be a stoner rock band, guys. And Jimmy and I looked at each other, and we were really into the song, and we're like, we could be a stoner rock band. That sounds great. Fast forward a bit, we never became a stoner rock band. But from that point, I started sending Jimmy ideas, just guitar and me mumbling some lyrical ideas along to them that were just kind of catchy, trashy, quick pop songs done a bit rough around the edge. And that's and the thing is, to tie that in, give it some more context, Jimmy and I have always loved, in Australia there was a big thing that bands, a lot of two pieces came out of the woodwork, and they suddenly became really cool around maybe 20, like the early part of the 2010s. Like we're thinking DZ Death Rays, June Rats were originally a two piece. Bleeding Knees Club were a two piece. These are very cool, like Australian, and this was kind of I guess, I don't know if it was a revival or a renaissance or a real new thing in Australia for guitar bands to come back into the scene, far adrift from, the last time we had them was the early noughties when the Strokes were on the scene and stuff. That's outside an Australian thing. But, baseline here is that 2010s, it was becoming cool again to play in these kind of trashy guitar bands. And we were very inspired by that. So we liked the idea of being a two piece. But drifting away from that, Jimmy and I have always just had this link intrinsically that we're both into the same music. We diverge on our own path slightly to what we like. But when it comes back to what we want to do with Dingo, we both just intrinsically know, like if we'll be working on a song, we know we understand the direction of that song and the broader context of what we want to be doing, how it fits in with the rest of the music we've been playing, how it fits in with our influences that we know we draw on for Dingo. We listen to different music, but we know the influences that we draw on together. So without even speaking about it, myself and Jimmy know what parts we're trying to pick from the world around us and put into a song that we're writing together. And that I think that's the strength as why Dingo and why we have, been able to work together for so long now. And it's really become part of our identity. We understand what sophisticated Dingo is without ever being able to really explain it, I think.
Okay, what a wonderful, see, it just proves what a wonderful soul he is. And I'm just cracking up looking at myself here. I haven't watched this in probably 6-7 months for sure. I look absolutely exhausted. It's hilarious. My face, I'm so into it, but I look dead for the last 5 minutes of his answer there. That's just cracking me up. Once I realized, because I was trying to search for, he said basilos or something. I couldn't find it on Spotify, but then the spelling might be a bit weird. I tried 3 or 4 ways of searching it. And I looked back and realized, oh my God, like past me looks absolutely dead. And the light that night, look at that, just pale. Goodbye, pale boy. But I wonder if we search sophisticated Dingo basilos. What did he say? Like basilos. What did I search here? Basilos. How would you spell it? Barcelos. Okay, so I wonder if that translates over to here. No, there's nothing on here called Barcelos. What's Jimmy's last name? Let's zoom this in for you guys. Sophisticated Dingo. Two piece. Two piece. Yeah. What's Jimmy's name? Put some respect on the drummer. It's got to be in here, surely. My gosh. How many band write-ups don't even have their name in it? Let's go to the dreaded Facebook. About. Nah. Okay. Jimmy. Internet needs to hurry up today. Very slow. Very slow. Okay. There we go. James Jimmy Medley. Okay, so now we're in. Now let's search his name and Barcelos or whatever it was. Maybe they've taken it off. Damn. Here we go. I was spelling it right. 2017. This is him. This is him. Where are the links? This is about a rather eye-opening, destructive part of my life. One of the best debut singles of the last 6 months. Where is it? Maybe if we search the song, Blair Gowie. No, I think it's been taken off of Spotify. Damn. There is a band called Little Murderers that has a song called that. On Spotify, is this the same? This is okay, hang on a second here. Named after a 1971 Alan Arkin directed film. Oh, Rob Griffiths formed okay, a different band with the same. Well, it was worth a try. It was worth a try. Is there anything else? Yeah, there they are. There's Lewis. There's Jimmy. Oh, it's the SoundCloud. Brilliant. Let's see what this sounded like. Before Sophisticated Dingo, there was Barcelos. This is my kind of deep dive, baby. Yeah. Jimmy saying, I guess we wrote the song during a rather eye-opening and destructive part of my life. I was an insomniac, lost and uncertain, always drinking too much and hanging with the wrong crowd. End quote. I'll save this page. I did just turn it down. I noticed that it was close to distorting. So just in case you're like, oh, it's changed a bit. I might turn it down a little bit more, actually, as it builds to a chorus. But I like this a lot. Back down the memory lane. Feel we're not okay. Battlefields and revelations, compromise and deposition. These rival things in endless prison. Feel what the world has come to. Yeah, you know, this is why sometimes having that little cheeky contextual song quote before you listen to it is really helpful. To say that this was about insomnia, I have had insomnia. Well, I mean, I've had it for massive periods of my life, but it's been much better under control in the last several years. But there were weeks when I would sleep for maybe 2 or 3 hours in that 7-day week. And I love the eeriness of it. I love the texture of the song. I like how Jimmy James and Jamesy Jimmy's vocals are flirting with that major minor at the end of certain sequences as we go in from like the end of a verse into a chorus, and likewise the other way around. I like that it has that sort of unnerving feel to it, while at the same time I find the music, I mean, it might grow to an explosion of energy at the end. I don't know if it will though, because if it's going to follow where my gut is going, it's going to get textured and maybe crazy, but not necessarily faster. And I like the fact that it does feel like, whoa, man, I'm trippy, because when you have barely slept in so long, life is like slow-mo. It's weird. And seeing stars for 2 or 3 days at a time, that sign of tiredness, and then the sort of everything else in your body, like your gut, is, for me at least, to speak for me, just starting to spasm a lot and just being like, yo, we need to figure this out. There needs to be a shutdown and a reset here, because this can't keep going. And then the desperation that I would fight and the frustration in trying to just anything to go to sleep. I remember, I will never forget the day when I was, I think about 17 years old, and I hadn't slept in 2 or 3 days due to, at that time, an ear infection, which I had a lot as a kid growing up. And I remember I could not get comfortable in any position other than lying over the banisters of the staircase, resting, like with all the blood just going to my head, and just literally balancing over the staircase. It was only like a 10 or 12 step fall, but wasn't the most smart idea at the time. And that was the most comfortable thing. And I fell asleep for a split second, and it felt so good, until my mum was like, Jonathan, you can't sleep on the banister. You might fall off, son. Obviously, mum doesn't sound like that. Just disclaimer. How are the levels doing here? Why am I so... Check. I seem to be quieter these days, even though I'm maxed out. There we go. I noticed that in the Calvin Louise What Was 5 thing. Let's jump back. Watching the river flow. It's all just passing the time till we're on our own. It's just a frozen view of what you told me. It's dripping down their scars. They didn't have a clue. It's just a frozen view. We're all just hoping to. It's dripping into what's right. Battle scenes and revelations, dropping bombs on all our nations. These common dreams and echo basement, I'm on a full out from you. Battle scenes and revelations, compromising all of our I'm eating drugs and waxing bugs and thought about a lover tattoo for each of you. I just can't leave it alone. That is a really cool song. I like that a lot. That is sweet. Let's go through to the Barcelos SoundCloud here. And am I logged in as anything right now? Let's just follow it as what was that and see if they noticed. 101 followers. Look at all these. I've got to rush to work once I've recorded this and uploaded it to the old Vimeo and then Patreon and in the Discord for subscribers. But I will make sure and if I don't, please remind me to make sure I link with all of these, the next steps of where I've gone during the chats. Let's bookmark this too so I don't forget. Bookmark this tab, other bookmarks. Damn, that's done. The first song I heard by these two, let's pause that, was What Is Going On. No, it wasn't. It was Day in the Life. Where is that? Did I get that open? Day in the Life. And as I said earlier, one of my favorite lyrics by the wonderful Lewis is, it's like buying steak knives when you haven't cooked a day in your life. I just think that is so clever. What the fuck? God. Are they cats or dogs as he throws pedigree chum at them? I love this guy. This is the most Australian Ben Stiller I've ever seen in my life. Who is he? Starring Joel Griffin as Joey Studs. Who is Joel Griffith? Pardon me, not Griffin. Australia. Who is this? Professional football manager who currently serves as the manager of Newcastle Olympic FC. Is that the same? No. Is that really? Doing this? How many tabs have I got open? Enough. Is that guy? Or Joel Griffith, director at Little Red Trucks? This looks more likely. Even though that picture is so small I can barely see it. It looks like it's this Joel from Little Red Trucks, as opposed to the manager of the finest soccer team in Newcastle, Australia. Jimmy's poor eyes. Groom them. Make them fluffy and beautiful. Yes. Just so good. I am also realizing that I've got my songs the wrong way around with the lyric. It's like eating steak knives when you haven't cooked a day in your life. I'm pretty sure it's from What's Going On. Let's dive into it here. The fact that all these videos have only got 500 to maximum 2,000 views is something that we can help. We can all help improve, right? We can, if we get them to the million, whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes, right? Cue it up, literally a million times. See if that works. Help the boys.
When I got out of bed the other day, I had a very strange feeling it's coming my way. Through the cat door, I could just see the empty stare from the night before. And I thought that maybe there's some things I should never fucking change in my life. Bringing me round to...
There's something so brilliant about an Australian swearing. Just the... It's like there's a great comedian called Lee Mack. I'm going to show you this, right? Let's Google this quickly. Lee Mack. I've told Jodie about this a bunch, so it'll be good for her to finally see it in this too. Lee Mack on Cockneys. Unfortunately, the following part of this part of the following part cannot be shown because the people that manage Lee Mack are not allowing it to be shown within this Small Fry YouTube channel. And that's a bit of sarcasm mixed with the fact that it's their footage and they can do what they wish with their copyright. And so if you wish to watch it, the Vimeo link is below. And also the link to the video that I did watch of Lee Mack and his Cockney joke is listed in the comment section below as well. Sorry that you can't... Was that too much reverb? He's been doing that joke for like 20 years. If you can find the old school from like the late 1990s when he first debuted that joke, so good. Anyway, that just Jimmy reminded me of the great Lee Mack there for a second. What is that? Oh, it's Subaru next door starting up. I thought there was an alien invasion. Whole house started rumbling. All right, let's dive into another. We're at half an hour already. I've got to go to work in 20 minutes. I still would like to shower. Here's Isolation, the musical, but it's Vultures by Sophisticated Dingo.
What a hapless day for telltales. I tiptoe on broken eggshells. All seems a little bit backwards, but apparently that's what I'm guilty of. And all this perceived despair. You keep arguing something. Why should I have my say when you're just waiting to make me pay? I'm not ready. It's too heavy. I'm not ready.
Just to show you how this song builds. I love the James Blunt CD that was there. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. Or as I sing to Jodie, you're beauty rose. You're beauty. I just heard an oh my god from the kitchen. I'll move on then. I'll move on. You're beauty rose. This band is just so good. Feeding Time, great single from April this year. Need that Subaru to leave, actually. My microphone's picking it up for the first time ever. You guys might be able to hear that. I'll mute my mic.
Take pride in what you thought up.
I want to show you a little live taster of the band as well. I thought I had a cheeky load up of, where is it? Day in the Life Live. And then we'll dive into the Morning View video itself, this week's Song of the Week choice. But just to show you, I really can't express enough how much I adore this band. The authenticity is always key for me for any music that I'm into. And they just explode with authenticity. You can tell that these are two guys that have known each other, as Lewis described. Lou at the start of the video here with that context from the podcast, available, the full-length interview at whatwasthatradio.com/podcast. It's a conversation with more than an interview. It's more lackadaisical, if I can use such a word, than rigid and tell me about I have 10 minutes with you. We spent over an hour talking, as you know, because you've been here for the whole video. So I don't know why I'm saying that. But there we go. I just adore that you can feel that friendship. You can feel the connection. And it's just so pure and it's so special. And it blows my mind. But at the same time, it doesn't, because there are thousands of bands like this on the planet that are just ready to be discovered. These gems of incredible ability and passion that we need to get in the ears of people that are into this kind of music in the sense of modern rock and what was that radio. Like, get a look at this live take. So good. I know I just played you a bit of the music video, but you got to... Because, I mean, in the studio, to preface my point here, or as some like to say, preface, like it's two words with a thing in the middle. Obviously, with the live, you've not got those layered vocals from Jimmy and Lou. You've not got those layered guitars. But in most cases, bands can really take a backward step when they're on the stage, because that texture is lost. It's not there. They don't have that extra texture and foundation to sonically throw at you from a stage. But with these two, it doesn't matter. They're just as flipping exhilarating. Now, obviously, Lewis is still farting around with different guitar pedal effects and whatnot to thicken out the sound and to et cetera, but and I love the passion with the delivery here.
Yeah. Wake up and toss and turn. It's just another day in the life. Pin down the weight of the world. It's just another day in the life. Which path will hold the key? I don't know which way is right. Boy, now I hedge my bets. It's just another day in the life. But I know that it's alright.
skip it a bit to the end to show you. Oh man, these two are so good. So when it comes to Song of the Week, choice number 40, in the quote here in the press release, Lewis says, quote, morning view is about holding off speaking rashly in the moment and instead allowing clearer heads to prevail later. Sometimes pouring so much of yourself into something can leave you worn out, especially when people around you don't buy in, ultimately leaving you broken and willing to give up on your ideal path to follow a more compromised one. Lewis finishes in saying, this might lead to one last-ditch effort to put all your cards on the table and try to convince the other parties to come along with you, but sometimes all you can do is accept the compromise is inevitable and even enjoy going along with the flow where you find peace in changing your relationship with your dreams. End quote. Yes. This is the best song, and I'm usually hesitant to say such things because I don't want it to undermine anything that came before it, but this is the best song they've written. It exemplifies every wonderful part of talent that they have, and it exemplifies the connection that they have. This is just like the ultimate rager party anthem for me out of all of Sophisticated Dingo's workings. It just epitomizes their hearts and their souls and their ability, full stop. And by the way, side note, to shout out to the produced, recorded and mixed by Sam Swain at Sunset Pig. Sam, incredible work, my friend. And this was created, filmed and directed and edited by Rick Clifford. Mr. Rick Clifford. Hats off to you as well, sir. This is exceptional work by all involved in Morning View by Sophisticated Dingo. Song of the Week, choice number 40 for whatwasthatradio.com. Like, I'll be honest with you, this song, the last few weeks, from the band that I used to drum in the band that is no more, and due to sad instances that luckily all are still alive and healthy now, it was a difficult moment back then for one of the members to mean that we just had to stop as a three-piece, and I've barely drummed since. I've gone to the jam spot that I've continued to rent for the last few years, and it's got all our gear there still. Well, I took some of the gear out to get to one of them a little while back. It's got 2 or 3 people's gear in it. And the drum kit's always set up. I've gone there, I think, 4 or 5 times with Harley and Jody. Jody, my partner, Harley, the 8-year-old son, and her 8-year-old son. 2 of my best friends, to be clear. But I've always felt uneasy. I don't know if I want to. I just didn't know when I'd want to drum with other people again, or maybe even shock horror, be in a band again. And when this song came out a few weeks ago, hearing the explosion into this chorus, I want to do it again. I want to find someone like the Lewis to his Jimmy, and I want to do this exact kind of thrash, punky, modern rock, maybe with stoner rock influences. I just want to let loose. Nate, I also kind of want to train myself to sing and drum at the same time, and just really punk it up, because for some reason I'm just intrigued by that right now. I'm intrigued seeing Jimmy and how talented Jimmy is in singing, and the way that he's singing. So impressive to multi-skill like that. That gives me a headache just thinking about it, but it's a challenge that I think I'd like to dive into. But these two, on the off chance that you see this, and Jimmy, we've never met or spoken yet, but we will at some point. I'd just like to say thank you for inspiring that animal within that has been scared for a little bit. And there's been many people and many instances that have helped me to build the wish or the courage or whatever word you want to use back to sitting behind and smashing things. But I have never felt as secure as I have in the last few years that now is the time. I would like to try and find the time. Where I'm going to find it, I don't know. But what I do know is I've got the spot on Monday nights. Cat's lying on the floor behind me looking at me like I'm a complete lunatic. It's not a different look to any other day, but... It's just outstanding. It is outstanding. And that is a little cheeky deep dive and context walk pathway. I don't know where that last two words came from, but sure. Into some sophisticated dingo out of Australia. Lewis and Jimmy, unbelievable. Ah, so flipping good. Thank you very much for your time and checking this out. If you have watched this on YouTube and you're like, what? Then this is basically held back a month after it's available to patrons, and patreon.com/whatwasthatradio is where you can find out more about that. And thank you in advance to all involved in Sophisticated Dingo for allowing you to watch this and not making it blocked in all countries due to copyright infringement, because this is not about making any money for me. It's about sending you to them to boost their streams, to boost their plays, to boost everything about their wonderful souls. Buy some merch, buy some tickets, do anything you can, support these bands, okay? Because if they get you going like me, it is the least we can do, if able to. Otherwise, whatever you're doing with the rest of your day, and as always, please look after yourself, and I hope there's some fun and smiles involved in the rest of it too, because we've got to cherish that positive. Until next time, cheerio.